Hey Alan, Neil here. Just wanted to share with you now the authority positioning and media marketing services that I offer. This is just some of the stuff that I do for clients. Basically, my main intro is this Business Innovators Radio for digital marketers, SEO people like yourself. I do it for free. And obviously, the syndication is good. People like that. So kind of 250 for that. If I can combine it with something else, I'd like to upcharge it. Like I said, if I can get 500 per interview, that's, not too bad. I do a 20% commission, across the board and on all these services. So the web team marketing price would be 200 for that. Small Business Trendsetters is another site that we have access to. It is a pretty nice site as well, so you'd be included right here. And I know you know about domain authority. Each one of these this is 36 if you can't see it, but each one of these is pretty good. So we have different interviews on here, and obviously these ones are just down below. But again, a nice looking site, somewhere else to be featured and something else to promote. Let me look at this one right here. So this was David Watts, featured on Fox 4. And we also have the option of having an audio version, just read the article, which is another something little different, but this is kind of what it looks like individualized. To go back to Small Business Trendsetters, let me click on this link right here. This is also syndicated out, and this is an example of some of the sites that pick up this article, just like the interviews picked up by iTunes and iHeartRadio and YouTube and all that different stuff. So Small Business Trendsetters is our host site, but then it goes out to Wall Street Select, Boston Herald, San Diego Tribune. So some top newspapers and things across the country. The great thing about all these is clicking this Boston Herald one. I'm not sure if this is old, what it's going to look like here. This doesn't look like it loaded too well right there. But, you got 84 domain authority, which is, a pretty nice link from these sites, and the article has all the different kinds of links in it. I use a lot of branded links. I don't like the anchor text too much. Contact us, stuff like that, so that doesn't get too spammy. This, for some reason, didn't load well this time. But these are all some top links here, just to get a little bit of traffic and authority to the channel. So for that, going back here, it's $500 for that, for the article and the syndication, 400 for the WTM price. One of the other things I do is take a transcript of the interview and put it out on Business Innovators magazine. Like we were talking about yesterday, it's all about the branding and having your stuff out as many places as possible. So again, we like to position alongside all these other authorities, and then put some of the regular articles down here, down beneath. This is one that I did for another digital marketer in Denver. So he's got his links in here, and it's really just a transcript of the interview that we did. So we've got 5 pages of content here, which makes a really nice piece that shows up well in the search engines as well. So 250 for that, 200 for you. Let's see, and then we've got the covers. I think we were talking about covers as well, positioning yourself. I think it might be kind of native advertising or something like that. But we can create these kind of covers, so it looks like this, and then you can use it as a marketing piece. The same can be said for our Business Innovators magazine. So we've got two. We've got the Business Innovators magazine, and then we've got the Small Business Trendsetters. Let me click on this link right here. So same idea. We just create the cover, put a little news thing around it with some big people, and then include whoever it is that we want to include right there. And so a couple of prices for that. It's 500 just for the image, and then 1,000 for the image with either the article on the back and 100 copies, like black and white copies. All right, moving on. We've got local business trendsetters. Let me pick this one up. Local business mavericks, excuse me. We've actually done 22 volumes of this so far. So we're going to retire this name, but we'll have another name coming out in the next couple of weeks. Much of the same kinds of thing. Two things here. This one, we actually give author credit. So the people would be able to create an Amazon central page and link to this book as the author of the book. So this one's got 5 different people in it. So it's 5 chapters here. I think we go up to 10 or 12. And, you know, this book is only available in Kindle only. So for that, to have that all edited, transcribed, uploaded, author credit, it's $1,000 for that, $800 to you. And then we've got the expert profiles that I was talking about. Let me click on this one. And I'm going to send you this document too. We just did volume 6 of this. This is volume 5. Let me see if I can put volume 6 in, because this is a recent one. Okay, so we got volume 6, and as you can see right now, it's the #1 new release on Amazon. So to be included in something like that, each one of these with the local business mavericks as well as the expert profiles, we do a bestseller campaign to get it to that #1 new release status, or to that #1 bestseller in specific categories. This one's doing okay, but we did get this up to #1 in free enterprise. I think it was #1 or 2 in ethics, and 1 or 2 in business and money as well. So, you know, to be able to show this kind of stuff, again, it's all about positioning. We usually get this down to 7,000 or 8,000, which gives us, you know, a couple of #1s. All right, so that is that one. This one, we also do the physical version. So right now they haven't been connected together, but there is a physical version of this as well. If I look in books, Kindle, 99 cents. We want people to buy that one to help with the ranking. The physical version we sell for $19.99 because we have to do the shipping and printing and all that kind of stuff as well. So for that, pricing wise, it is $1,500 to do the physical version. Get the chapter in the book, have it all transcribed, and the physical version as well shipped to them. Press releases, one of my favorite things to do. Press releases are great to give you an idea of what they look like here. We have a channel, it's called Authority Press Wire, and this is the report that goes out. So let me explain this. Authority Press Wire is like the home page where this is taken from, and then it is syndicated out to all these other ones. So nice clean site, nice big picture there, good headline, and then again we've got the links throughout this here. And this one I didn't include the NAP. Let me see if I can go back here, but if we look at the Google index pages, you'll see, you know, quite a few results, 482 results. Authority Press Wire is always going to show up well at the top. Digital Journal is a great one. It shows up in Google News, but you'll see the NBCs, the ABCs, and just to take you back to the report, what did I do? Back to the report here. You know, you see all these logos, the logos of ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, all across the country. Doesn't necessarily matter which area you're in. The angle that we take with these press releases or the social media posts that follow this announcement is that, hey, my business has been featured all across the country. They're talking about me. on all these different authority sites. So we've got the top premium outlets right here. There's usually about 100 or so of those. And then we've got the newspapers, major news outlets, and we've got some industry news. We've got some financial feeds, which is great for the attorneys. And then we got some local ones as well. I'm not sure what's around New York, Albany. I know it's not New York, but it's in the States. I don't know what else. Nothing's standing out here, but there's always a few to be able to use. I think there's 300 or so links right here. So plenty of stuff to share. Now, in these top level ones, these premium outlets, I can also embed a map. Let me show you just what they look like. So it's that same article or press release with Stacey Johnson. Let me see where it is. Didn't show up on that one, or it's still loading or something. I'm not sure. Let me check this one out. Okay, so this is actually quite an old one. After a while, these premium outlets, they will scrub the content, and it will no longer be there. So that's why we have these get screenshot buttons right here, because we want to capture the screenshots. Let me show you what it looks like in Digital Journal, because all these ones do stay. So basically, it's the same article, same kind of links that are there. It's just syndicated out to all these other places that pick it up. And with these ones as well, I can embed maps. So for the local stuff, like Google My Business and the maps, I can embed a map. I can include the NAP, the name, address, phone number. You know, all those little signals help. And coming from a domain authority of 90 is, you know, a pretty good citation right there. So that is it for the press releases. I charge anywhere if it's a one-time thing, because what made a huge difference to me, this was actually my wife's business at one point. It was a cleaning business here in Atlanta. We were doing pay-per-click and spending about $300 a week on pay-per-click for this site. And we did a press release and used these logos because we were featured on all these different sites. So we used these logos and used, you know, some copy featured on, you know, in the ads, and our conversions went up 40% overnight. And it completely changed the business to have a 40% increase in conversions, raised prices twice with no pushback, started getting better clients, you know, and eventually a couple of years later sold the business. So this was really important. So to be able to do that, I charge $1,500 for the press release, and this, like it says here, based on volume. I'll go down the bottom here. The volume is $1,500 one time quarterly. So a new release every month is $1,000 per release, and if it's a monthly, $500 per release, going out on all these news networks every month, giving you something great to share every month. All right, getting down to the bottom now, talking about the press releases here. Bestseller campaigns. This is if somebody already has a book and they are looking to become a best-selling author and get to the top of Amazon in one of the categories that makes sense for them. You know, we like to get it to #1 if we can. We don't guarantee #1, but we usually do get it. If not, it's definitely in the top 10. Ultimately, it's being able to use that title of best-selling author. And we get the screenshots of everything to give you an idea. Here's one that we did a little while ago. And we did the press release about that. Evangelist GM Coleman has reached 3 Amazon bestsellers lists with A Key to Get Out of Hell on Earth. So her book was featured at the top of Amazon, and this is the press release about it. And again, it goes out to all those ABC, NBC, CBS affiliates. Pricing for that is $7,500, 20% off for you, so that's $6,000. radio show. So that featured radio show on Business Innovators Radio, depending on how many shows that they're going to commit to, it's $3,000 for the setup and $300 per show. That's up to 4 shows a month. The gold package here is $2,500 setup with up to 10 shows at $250 per show. And for that, we do all the editing, the audio, we set everything up and make sure everything's distributed to all these other channels like the YouTube and the iTunes and the Spreaker, Stitcher. So we do all that kind of production back-end stuff for them, $250 a show. And then so that would be, probably twice a week. That would give you 8 to 9 shows a month. The platinum would be more like a daily. So it's $2,000 set up, $200 per show. That would be like a daily show, Monday through Friday, always putting content out every day. And again, 20% across the board for you. That obviously, this can be a little bit of a moneymaker as the shows keep on coming in. TV, radio, PR. This is where I, reach out to a lot of different clients across the country that I have. People that want to get on TV, this is for the big boys that want to position themselves on TV, get that video clip of them being interviewed by an anchor on TV, on like one of ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, one of those main ones. It's $5,000 per month for that, for me to go to work. I also look for different local or national newspapers, radio shows, podcasts. So, really I've become the PR person for them and try and get them as much PR as possible. But TV being the main one, and then, a lot of PR about that appearance, it can really snowball from there. Generally, people aren't going to do this for too long. They might give it a go for a month and try and get that one TV piece. Maybe they'll do it for 2 or 3 months and try and get that snowball rolling until, things just kind of take off and they start to get more business from it. Again, 20% discount. And then the final thing is, a kind of combination of everything that I just gave you. This is the podcast to book. It's a 12-month subscription, $3,000 a month. And this is really going to take people from, the business that they have inside their head. We want to get all the content out. We structure it so that it makes sense to get the content in an interview. We get that content out of them. So we start a podcast. We'll have 10 podcast episodes. So month 1 would be structuring what that would look like. Then 10 podcast episodes, and each episode we're promoting along the way with press releases, with news articles, with articles on Small Business Trendsetters and Business Innovators Radio. So we kind of do it all. And then at the end of it, the last month, we were putting it all together. We were having it edited down into a chapter. So they'll actually have a book. And then we do that bestseller campaign on the book. And at the end of the 12 months, or maybe a little bit after that, they have a best-selling book. And, we've promoted it all throughout as well. And that is, that's a commitment, definitely. But $3,000 a month, at the end of it, you've got a best-selling book. And hopefully you've become that recognized expert in your industry at that point. So, long video there, Alan, sorry for that, but hopefully you get an idea of the kind of stuff that I do to position people as the experts in their industry. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I'm going to send you a PDF of this document right now with the video, and just let me know what else you got going on. Take care.